Before streaming, America tuned in each week to the high-rise hijinks of the Jeffersons. But beneath the laughs, this groundbreaking sitcom hid some surprising secrets and bizarre twists. Time to count down 10 of the weirdest facts you never knew about George and Louise's world. Number 1. The show ended without a proper finale, by network mistake. Let's go back to 1985, when televisions still glowed in living rooms every night, and the Jeffersons was every bit a part of the family routine. After a decade of wisecracks and wheeling and dealing, CBS pulled the plug on the Jeffersons without so much as a goodbye scene. There was no final bow, no poignant goodnight, just a press release and silence. Star Isabel Sanford, who played Louise Jefferson, first heard about the cancellation on the radio, not from the creators or the network. Even Sherman Hemsley, the unforgettable George, was in the dark. Loyal viewers tuned in one week, completely unaware their last visit to that sunny, high-rise apartment had already aired. It hurt. A show that changed the face of prime time and broke barriers was gone in a blink, leaving fans and cast craving closure for years. The abrupt ending still stings, making the Jeffersons sign-off one of television's coldest cutoffs. The story doesn't stop here. What else was lurking behind the scenes? Number 2. George Jefferson was almost played by a different actor. Picture that famous strut, confident, stubborn, and unforgettable. But behind the scenes, George Jefferson almost had a different face. When Norman Lear dreamed up the Jeffersons in 1975, he saw Sherman Hemsley in the role from day one. CBS, though, wanted a bigger name. Someone like Cleveland Little, already a rising star from Blazing Saddles. Lear faced studio pressure, but in true George Jefferson fashion, he refused to back down. Instead, he patiently waited almost a full year for Hemsley to finish out his Broadway run in Pearly. The insistence paid off. Sherman Hemsley didn't just play George, he embodied him, with fiery one-liners and unforgettable comic timing. The chemistry with Isabel Sanford on set became electric, spinning everyday moments into television gold. If anyone ever doubted that casting could define legacy, the Jeffersons made it clear. Sometimes, standing firm transforms television history. Ahead, the unexpected secrets of this sitcom classic keep rolling in, just like George's swagger down that iconic hallway. Number 3. The real reason for Lionel's actor switch. Sharp-eyed fans of the Jeffersons always noticed something odd about Lionel Jefferson. Sometimes he just did not look like the same guy. In the mid-70s, Mike Evans originated the role, bringing warmth and playful rebellion that set the tone for the family. But after one season, he vanished from the set. People speculated for years about the swap, but in truth, Mike Evans left to write for another Norman Lear hit, Good Times. The producers didn't want to sideline Lionel, so they cast Damon Evans, who brought his own charm and spark to the character. When the Jeffersons soared in ratings, they brought the original Lionel, Mike Evans, back into the fold. The confusion became part of the show's tapestry, with storylines occasionally zigzagging to match the latest casting. Through all the switch-ups, audiences kept rooting for Lionel, and maybe that curiosity kept viewers coming back, wondering who might show up next. It's those little mysteries that give a series its staying power and make us lean forward, ready for the next twist. Number 4. Louise's mother swapped actresses midway. You might recall Olivia Jefferson, the sharp-tongued matriarch who lit up the living room with every entrance. But did you catch the moment when the actress behind her, Zara Cully, quietly disappeared from the Jeffersons in Season 4? During Cully's illness in 1978, producers brought in Mary Henderson to fill the role for a single episode. For viewers used to Cully's wise and feisty delivery, the change stirred confusion, even among keen-eyed fans. Zara Cully's swift return for her final episodes only deepened her legendary status. After her passing, the show marked her memory with a heartfelt on-screen tribute, proof that network sitcoms could honor their own without fanfare or spectacle. For those who watched with family, Olivia Jefferson's brief absence reminded us just how special each performance could be. Sometimes even a single episode can make you stop and appreciate the voices behind the stories. And soon we'll find out what other quirks made the Jeffersons a legend all its own. Number 5. The Silent Door Neighbor was a crew inside joke. You know that odd moment when a character is always talked about but never appears? That was the case with Mr. Bentley's Friend Next Door on The Jeffersons, the classic CBS sitcom that first aired in 1975. This mysterious neighbor was mentioned casually in episodes, yet no actor ever set foot on set as the character. It started as a simple script device, a way to fill dialogue or explain off-screen noises. But before long, writers and crew turned the idea of an invisible neighbor into an ongoing gag. Hidden in plain sight, it became a subtle nod to how sitcoms build quirky, incomplete worlds. Audiences soon caught on, chuckling at each sly reference while trying to guess when or if the neighbor would actually appear. 30 years later, it's still a testament to the inventive humor that kept the show fresh. It's just one more reason the Jeffersons felt both familiar and oddly magical, forever inviting viewers to peer around every corner and wonder what surprises lay next door. Let's pause for a second. Did you ever find yourself waiting for a never-seen character to finally appear, or have a favorite sitcom with a running inside joke? Share your memories or the quirkiest TV mysteries you remember. Number 6. Florence the Maid was cast for just one episode. The sound of Florence Johnston trading barbs with George Jefferson became iconic, but her place in the Jeffersons world almost never happened. In 1975, Marla Gibbs first stepped onto the set as Florence, the quick-witted maid, for what was supposed to be a single, forgettable guest spot. Producers only intended a one-off appearance, maybe get a laugh or two, then move on. But that first episode changed everything. Gibbs's chemistry with the cast, especially with Sherman Hemsley's George, radiated through the screen. Her sharp tongue and impeccable timing drew such an electric response that Columbia Pictures Television quickly turned Florence into a series regular. Over the show's run, Gibbs earned 5 Emmy nominations for her spirited work. Fans adored her snappy retorts and fearless comebacks, especially when giving Mr. Jefferson a run for his money. Florence's ascension from brief guest to sitcom legend proved that sometimes a single scene can change TV history. As laughter still echoes from those vintage episodes, we're reminded how a throwaway role became one of television's most unforgettable presences, proving once again that lightning does strike on the living room couch. Number 7. The show's set hid a famous prop from another sitcom. The Jeffersons' deluxe apartment looked brand new, but for sharp-eyed viewers, one piece felt strangely familiar. That's because the set famously recycled furniture straight from its predecessor, All in the Family. When the Jeffersons spun off in 1975 and began filming just down the hall from Archie Bunker at CBS Television City, thrifty producers seized a rare opportunity. They redressed the unmistakable Bunker armchair, worn, cozy, and etched with TV history, so it could serve as part of George and Louise's living room. It disguised itself with fresh upholstery, but the bones of Archie's chair remained. This isn't just a cute nod to continuity. It's a tangible bridge between two sitcom universes, one piece of furniture that bore witness to social change, quick-witted jabs, and the laughter from both white working-class Queens and upscale Manhattan. Such hidden details reveal how TV magic and a little network frugality creates a ripple across pop culture's living rooms. Next time you rewatch, keep an eye on the furniture. Something old is always hiding in something new. Number 8. The Movin' On Up theme was almost totally different. Picture the Jeffersons without that triumphant burst of "Movin' On Up" echoing through your living room. Hard to imagine, right? Early on, the show's creators considered launching with a gentler, almost wistful melody about leaving the old neighborhood behind. It would have felt more like a bittersweet goodbye than the joyous statement we know. Everything changed when Jeanne Dubois, famous for her role on Good Times, stepped in to co-write and absolutely belt out the now iconic version. Paired with Jeff Barry's punchy composition, her gospel-infused performance transformed the theme into a celebration of hope and hustle, instantly setting the series apart when it premiered in 1975. That contagious energy became the heartbeat of the Jeffersons world, shaking up CBS and making viewers tap their toes. If that early demo had stuck, the show's entire spirit, and maybe its success, might have taken a very different turn. It's proof that one musical decision can supercharge a whole era of TV. Let's catch our breath and see what surprise is next up on the block. Number 9. Sherman Hemsley's real-life stage nerves. That swaggering entrance, the big laugh, George Jefferson's larger-than-life bravado. The audience loved it. But behind the curtain, Sherman Hemsley was a very different man. Each week before a 1970s taping at CBS Television City, Hemsley was racked with stage fright. His heart would race as laughter echoed down the soundstage halls. To muster George's relentless energy, he leaned on deep breathing exercises and quiet rituals, centering himself in the moments before the applause sign flashed. The actors around him, like Isabel Sanford, knew that his electric presence on the Jeffersons came at a price. Sherman poured every ounce of adrenaline into George Jefferson, making his strut into that iconic living room unforgettable. Few fans realized that the same nervous energy that fueled those legendary rants was rooted in genuine stage nerves, making every episode a personal triumph. So, next time you picture George barreling through that doorway in a three-piece suit, remember how much courage it took, episode after episode. Number 10. The original pilot was a backdoor episode from All in the Family. You might picture George Jefferson strutting through his front door, but the Jeffersons' journey began in the humblest way, quietly woven into the fabric of All in the Family. Their debut came during Season 4's episode called Lionel's Engagement, back in 1973, when the Jeffersons weren't even headlining their own show yet. Here's the twist most fans miss. George himself didn't appear on screen for that first moment. Actor Sherman Hemsley was still bound to his Broadway role in Pearlie, so the show's writers kept George off stage and let another actor voice his angry comments from the wings. Only a season later did Hemsley finally break through the door, forever shifting the sitcom's landscape. The Jeffersons would premiere as its own series in 1975, launching a new world right next to Archie Bunker's. When Sherman Hemsley finally arrived, audiences felt the air shift. Change had come, and nothing on television would look or sound quite the same. Let's see just how far this new address took America's favorite neighbors.